Yes, yes.
Sudah saya record,
Okay.
Bapak.
So, okay, thank you. Because I cannot see the red dot. Usually, if it is recorded, I can see the red dot.
Itu biasanya di Zoom meeting, Bapak. Kalau di Google Meeting tidak
Oh,
ada fitur untuk record. Jadi saya record
okay.
screen. Ya.
So actually, thank you for the help of recording this meeting. So actually, we still have one more last meeting next week. Although the plan is next week is uh, free week for preparation to the final test, but then it is delay, and next week we still have the meeting, and free week for preparation test is uh, date 22nd, if I'm not mistaken. Date 22nd. It means 2 weeks after this. So actually, next week we still have one more meeting, and if I'm not mistaken, in this class, there are still two more groups, right? Am I right? Two more group, right?
Yes.
Al Makrizi and Wali Songo. Is it right?
Right, Mister.
Okay, so I
Yes.
will ask you. I'm asking you. Do you want to present it today to group or separate it one by one? Today one group and next week one group. It is up to you. Do you understand what I mean?
Yes,
Understand,
I
sir?
Mister.
Okay, so what do you choose? Okay, what do you choose? Today two groups or one group?
One day, one group, Mister.
Okay, one day one group.
Boleh.
yes.
Okay, so today we will hear the presentation of who will present today? Al Makrizi, right?
Yap, Mister.
Okay, the time is yours. Time is yours.
I'm sorry, sir.
Yes.
Today is about Ibn Khaldun, not the.
Oh, so Ibn Khaldun.
Yes.
Then next week, next week about who? Next week, if today Ibn Khaldun.
Tim Syahirah and Nabil and with Falkul is next week.
Okay, okay, okay. Up to you. Okay, you can start the presentation now.
Okay. I will I'll start to presentate the material. First of all, Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam.
Warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Good evening, everyone. Good evening, Mr. Yeah. So I hope everything's feeling well today. So today I would like to presentate about Ibnu Khaldun economic thought. Next slide, please. So the members of the first group are Danish Izanadira, Lena Mardiana, and also me, myself, Ayunistia Nirmala. Next slide. The first one is about his biography. So his full name is Abu al-Rahman bin Muhammad bin Khaldun al-Hadrawi. He used to known as Waliuddin Abu Zaid Qadi al-Qudat. He was born on 732 Hijj in Tunis. He belongs to the Maliki school of thought. Muhaddis al-Hafiz, expert in usul fiqh, a historian, traveler, writer, and also literature. He usually called by the name Abdurrahman when he was young, and then he used to be called as Ibn Zaid with his family. He has the title of Waliuddin and his popular name is Ibn Khaldun. Jadi nama lengkap beliau yaitu Ibn Ar-Rahman bin Muhammad bin Khaldun al-Hadrawi. Biasa dikenal dengan Waliuddin Abu Zaid Qadi al-Qudat. Saat beliau kecil, beliau biasa dipanggil dengan nama Abdurrahman. Sedangkan di dalam keluarganya, beliau biasa disebut dengan Ibn Zaid. Dan nama yang populer di kalangan masyarakat sekarang adalah Ibnu Khaldun. Next slide. So the next is Ibnu Khaldun economic thought. One of his phenomenal works is Kitab al-Muqaddimah, which contains a lot of various aspects of knowledge and human life at that time. Al-Muqaddimah literally means opening or introduction and is the opening volume of 7 volumes of historical writings. Excuse me, I'm sorry. So Al-Muqaddimah tries to explain the principles that determine the rise and fall of powerful dynasties and civilization. Al-Muqaddimah also contains discussion of economics, sociology, and political science, which is Ibn Khaldun's original contribution to these branches of science. The concept of the tax charged to the individual. It was also said by Ibn Khaldun that at the end of the state, taxes are few in number and in fact a lot of burden on individuals. The reason for this concept is that the concept of taxation conveyed by Ibn Khaldun is a concept in which the state follows the sunnah of the Islamic religion, and the state imposes taxes that are only determined in Islamic law, namely donation taxes, alms and taxes, haraj, and also gift taxes, sound jizya. Next slide, please. Okay, so these economic problems are discussed by Ibn Khaldun in his book Al-Muqaddimah, Part 5, which said that economic motives arise because of the unlimited human desires, while the goods that will satisfy those needs is very limited. Because of that, the way to solve the economic problems must be viewed from two angles: power angle, work are paid, and also from the point of use. As for energy, it is divided into the first one is power to work on goods or objects to fill our needs or subject called ma'ashi or livelihood. And second one is power to work on the good that meet the needs crowd or subjective mass called tamawul or company. Next slide. Because the economic motives are caused by the unlimited human desires, so Ibn Khaldun divided the perspective of energy. At that time, it was no longer the time to exchange goods, but to use a modern economic system where a trading system currency plays an important role. At that time, there was no paper money, but there was gold and also metal, which had functions as a medium of exchange, a price measurement tool, bank deposits, and a means of a communication. Ibn Khaldun greatly respected labor as one of the main foundations of society and discussed profit as the value delivered from human work. Next slide. So the next topic is about the fiscal policy according to Islam. The Islamic economic system is basically divided into three main sectors, namely the public sector, the private sector, and also the social justice sector. The public sector is an economic sector that involves the role of the state, and what is meant by this public sector can also be considered as the fiscal sector. The functions of the fiscal policy sector according to Islam are: the first one is maintenance of law, justice, and also defense. The second one is formulation and implementation of economic policies, management of government assets in SOES. And the third one is economic intervention by the government if need. Next slide. In the view expressed in his famous book, Muqaddimah, Ibn Khaldun said that at the beginning of the establishment of a country, taxes were very large in number, and a few of these taxes were borne by individuals. Then it was also said by Ibn Khaldun that at the end of the state, the amount of taxes is small and there are a lot of burdens on individuals. All the taxes mentioned as examples already have a fixed limit, and the amount cannot be added. A different thing actually happens if the concept in a country doesn't adhere to the concept of Islam, but instead follows the concept of politics and social solidarity in a social solidarity. I'm sorry. In a country, if the tax burden and tax obligation to the people are small, then they are enthusiastic and also happy to do that. This resulted in many thriving business, and also this is in accordance with the concept known in economics today, namely low taxes can be stimulus for economic activity. So that's all the material from me. Is anybody wanna ask some question? Any question, guys? Yes, Miftah, you can ask now.
Yes, thank you, Ayuni. I want to ask, how is historical thinking according to Ibn Khaldun as the father of sociology? You understand?
I'm sorry. Could you repeat that again?
Okay. How is historical thinking according to Ibn Khaldun as the father of sociology? Jadi apa pengertian sejarah menurut Ibnu Khaldun sebagai bapak sosiologi?
Okay, thank you for the question. I will uh, menyimpan dulu ya. Apakah ada yang mau bertanya lagi?
Come on, at least one more question. One more, please.
Permission. I'm from team 2, wanted to answer this question. Bentar. In the book Al-Muqaddimah, history is the record of mankind or world civilization regarding the changes that have occurred in the character of human society. Apakah bisa dipahami, Miftah? Apa ada pertanyaan kembali?
Iya bisa, Nat. Terima kasih.
You're welcome.
Okay, I will give another answer. If you can you hear me?
Yes, sir.
Yes.
Okay. So when you are asking about what Ibn Khaldun think about history, actually, the book of Muqaddimah, which is consists of a lot of ideas in economy, is only a very little part of Kitab Al-Ibar, if I'm not mistaken. So I will open the book about Kitab Al-Ibar, right? So Kitab Al-Ibar. Maybe if you want to buy book, you can buy this book. This book is from Adiwar Mankari. And there are also many books about Islamic economic talks. And about Ibn Khaldun, so actually the Muqaddimah, which is very famous for economic ideas of Ibn Khaldun, is only opening of his very large book about history. So Al-Kitab Al-Ibar consists of three books, which is divided into 7 volumes. The Muqaddimah, 1 volume. Al-Ibar, about history, 4 volumes. And At-Ta'rif, Bil Ibn Khaldun, 2 volumes. So actually, Ibn Khaldun is more famous as a historian, actually. And but if you want to know more about economic ideas, his famous book is Muqaddimah. Muqaddimah by Ibn Khaldun. I have the translation in my house. Maybe if you want to read, or you can find it in the bookstore. About the translation of Muqaddimah by Ibn Khaldun. It is very famous. So before we continue to the next question, I will tell you a little about his ideas. Maybe as a, let's say, a completion for your presentation as a complementer for your presentation. Okay. So according to Adiwarman Karim, according to Adiwarman Karim, Ibn Khaldun is already finding the importance of dividing job before Adam Smith. And he has also told us about the principles of worker value, of working value of human before David Ricardo. And also he has already explained to us about population theory before Malthus. Okay. Actually, if you have learned about economic theory, you will know these names. Uh, like Adam Smith, David Ricardo, Malthus, and also Ibn Khaldun already described about the role of government in the economy before Keynes. Keynes, okay. If you don't know Keynes, he is one of the greatest father economic ideas. Okay. So Ibn Khaldun is very famous, especially in Islamic economic ideas. And also Al-Ghazali, Ibn Khaldun, Abu Ubaid. It is, I can say, it is the most famous among others Islamic thinker. Okay. Okay. Maybe that's all what I can add to the presenter. Ask one more question. Please ask one more question.
Is there any other question, guys?
Yes, please. One more question, please. Come on, one more question. Well, actually, Ibn Khaldun has a lot of ideas. Instead of what the presenter said about the fiscal policy, about taxation, and also about uh, the working value of a human, the working value of a human, which means that Ibn Khaldun also think about how you as a boss must pay the wage for your employee. Yes, please, one more question.
Selamat sore guys. Ayo yang mau
Uh,
bertanya.
yes, yes.
Ya teman-teman. So,
Ibnu Khaldun also believe that we must return to dinar and dirham. Like that's what I have told you before. That the money must be not produce too many because too many fulus it will uh, too many fulus is not good for economy, right? Because it will cause inflation, right? And Ibn Khaldun already think also about the supply and demand. Supply and demand. And he also believes that the too many taxes will reduce the power of buying buying power for for the people. Okay, one more question.
mungkin tadi belum ada yang bertanya. Mungkin dari Mista sudah. Mungkin Nabil, Daulinda, atau Nailal yang mau bertanya kepada kelompok 2, dipersilakan.
Okay, and Ibn Khaldun also said that government spending is important to uh, accelerate the economic growth. So uh, looks like that idea is used in Indonesia too, right? Because the president also asking people to spend their money and also government too, because spending money can accelerate the economic movement. So don't save your money only in the bank, but use it to accelerate the economic movement. Okay, one more question, please. Okay, if you have no question, looks like we will finish this meeting for today, and we will meet again next week, right? Uh, The record of this meeting I will upload in my YouTube channel. And so if you next time you have any question, you can put your question on the comment. Okay, and maybe you want to see your own face in the YouTube channel. Okay, let's close this meeting with akhir majelis. Thank you for the presenter, today's presenter, and the audience. We will see again next week, inshallah. Subhanakallahumma bihamdika. Asyhadu an la ilaha illa anta. Assalamualaikum warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam warahmatullahi wabarakatuh.
Waalaikumsalam
Thank you,
warahmatullahi
Bapak.
wabarakatuh.